Hey guys, good morning. Hello guys, good morning. And welcome to today's session. It's 8:37 and we are going to start as soon as just everyone joins. Waiting for a few more students to enter. Before we get started, I just want to say that I hope that you guys are doing well and that you guys are having a fabulous new year, staying safe, and you guys are really missed in the classroom. And inshallah, this whole thing will be over soon and that you guys can come and join us back again. Okay, so meanwhile, now that we're joining, I would like to start the session with our DLP. We're going to do a very quick DLP so that we don't waste much of our time, especially that it's a online session. While we're getting started, I would like for you guys to have your notebooks ready. Always have your notebook ready because at the end of each session or at the end of the week, I would like to see that you guys have done the things in your notebook. Not just we're not being online doesn't mean that we're not doing anything, that we're laying in bed, attending our sessions. Please be active learners. Sit on a desk in a proper, comfortable area. Make sure that your notebooks are with you so that you guys are taking notes and also doing the things that we're doing on our schedule for today. Okay, so today's schedule, we're going to start off by the DLP. Okay, so the first one here is the DLP. I'm going to have you guys open, and I need you to. Hello.
Hi,
Hi. Okay. Can you
good
please?
morning.
Good morning, Lucy. Do you guys hear me? Because I feel like I'm calling on students and they're not really answering back. I
miss your
Your sound is
like
kind of far, yani we can't hear
يعني
you
لا
well.
it's no
okay. I'm trying. Okay. So if you guys
yours
could please
yeah.
right. Okay. So I would like for someone to just raise your hand if you're willing to participate in answering the first question. James and me are always arguing about who is a better guitar player. All right, Luigi, please give us the first for the first response for that.
James and I.
Good, perfect. All right, so here the first correction, like Luigi said, we would use definitely James and I because again, this is subjective. Remember, we said when we're using subjective pronouns, we have to use them as a here. James and I are subjects of the sentence, and whenever you have a subject, you have to use the pronoun in the subjective form. That would make it James. Sorry, excuse me. That would be James. All right, James and I. All right. And R, okay, R is correct because again you have a compound subject, so you need a plural verb, which is R. What is my second correction, please, Judy?
Always should be one L, not a double L.
Good job. So again, always is misspelled. It should be one L, not a double L. Arguing about who's a better guitar player. Maya, please.
Miss, we said the always is only one L, right?
That's right. We made that correction already. Any other?
Who is?
Good. All right. This who's is definitely asking a question. We don't want this who's. We want who is, right? James and I are always okay. We forgot to add the word. I forgot to add the word. Arguing. Uh, who is about? Sorry, about who is a better guitar player? All right. Thanks, Maya. Any other mistakes that we see here? Let's go with Hannah Durham, please.
Period.
Good job. You need an end mark, which is your period. Thank you, Hannah. The next one here, they want you to circle the abstract nouns in the sentence. Can just someone, Nano, please, can you give me a definition of an abstract noun? What is a abstract noun?
Something يعني مش عارفة أقولها ازاي. Something that cannot be touched أو اللي هما five senses.
Good. Something or a noun that cannot be detected by our five senses. We said that they're usually emotions, right? Or things that we some things that are emotions or spiritual things, right? Ideas also that cannot be touched or perceived by the five senses. Good job, Nano. Can you please tell us what is the abstract noun in the following sentence?
Energy and imagination.
Good job. All right, perfect. So here we would definitely circle energy and imagination. So please, if while you should have these answers in your notebook, all right, and imagination are both. Remember, we have to choose nouns that are abstract, and these would be them. Okay, because again, children are concrete. Okay, children is a noun. However, it is a concrete noun because again, they can be touched. All right, they can be seen. All right, so here the only two abstract nouns that we have is energy and imagination. Thanks, Yanano. Okay, so again, I'm gonna leave this up here for a second. You guys should have that first in your notebook. All right, today, if you guys would look at your weekly plans, I got a few questions over the weekend discussing the quiz. Okay, we did not have a chance to go over the monkey's paw study guide, so we're gonna do that today along with vocab, so that we can have that. You can have this review with you for Wednesday's quiz. Okay, so today, so Wednesday is going to be January 6th. This is when we have our monkey's paw quiz, and hopefully by then we can inshallah we'll take it during our session. All right, I'm going to post for you guys the timing from the schedule that you guys have. All right, so that being said, again, yes, the quiz is going to be on Monday, I mean sorry, Wednesday, January 6th, for the monkey's paw. All right. I see hands raised. Are these questions pertaining to what I'm saying? Hannah, Durham, do you have a question? Nano, and Hannah Hamdi, do you have questions?
Miss, I have a question about will the quiz be like it's a link that we click and it will be like multiple choice, or will you upload a sheet and we print it and answer it?
Mr. Osama has uploaded a program that he wants us to use now, which is called MS Microsoft something. All right. I'm not yet acquainted with this, so by Wednesday, if we get a training done to learn how to do it, maybe we could use this one. If not, then it's most likely going to be uploaded as a sheet on SMS, and you guys will either answer it on a separate sheet of paper or print it and answer directly and just send me pictures of it when you're done or email me. Okay, so I will let you know by inshallah by Tuesday when things are more clear, because again today's my first day back, so I still have to play with the program and see if I'm going to use the program or I'm going to stick to the old way until I'm more acquainted with the program. I'll keep you posted regarding the formatting. Okay, and I'll most likely post it on our group on Facebook as a notification for all of you guys to know what's going to happen or how it will be like. Okay, Hannah, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, all right, love.
Thank you.
All right, so again, today, inshallah, I'm aiming to finish the review for the monkey's paw, and inshallah we're going to look at vocab. So I'm going to start out with vocab first. Um, and the vocab here. This is the PowerPoint. If you guys go on your SMS, okay, I have SMS here open. If you guys go to grade 8, and then if you go to literature term 2, and if you go to the monkey's paw, you're gonna see the vocab review here. This is a PowerPoint right here. I posted it for you so that you guys can have it in case you want to, revise and study it on your own. All right, the vocab list also right here. This is the list. It's a Microsoft document, and you guys will see it right here. Okay, it's called the Monkey's Paw Quiz Vocab List. 10 words. The book has given you guys approximately 6, and I have added an additional 4 words from the story. And these 4 words, starting from the term prosaic, amiably, avaricious, and frivolous, these 4 words are actually from your footnotes. Okay, so these 4 words are in the footnotes. And if you guys don't know what a footnote is, it's at the bottom of the page. Okay, we should be familiar with this term. Okay, so these 4 additional words are located from 7, 8, 9, and 10. They're actually words in the footnotes. So the definitions are also there. This sheet here, if you guys could print it and fill it in, or have it in front of you on your laptops or whatever it is, and fill it in with definition and a sentence so that you guys can have it for studying. Okay, so as I go over the words, it would be very good for you guys to have that sheet in SMS right here. It's called the quiz vocab list sheet. Print it out or have it in front of you. You can type your answers in as long as you have it done, or print it and manually write your answers down. And please, again, I'm going to be checking these things to be done. Okay, we're not sitting here at home doing nothing. We're being active learners at home. So make sure that you have your stuff in front of you and there. Okay. All right. So let's start with the PowerPoint. Okay. You could look here with me. You can have it open on your own. All right. The first word again, compensation. All right. The first word again, if you could repeat it, even to yourself silently. Compensation. Compensation is a noun, and we saw that term when Herbert passed away, and the company, the person from the company, the representative from Ma and Megan's, came to give him or to give the family the compensation for his death. So basically, compensation is usually money that's a payment given to someone as a form of making up for their loss. Okay, usually to make up for their loss, or to even thank them, or to show gratitude. All right, like people after they work for a number of years, they can be given an amount of money as compensation, as a way of showing gratitude to their hard work. Okay, here the Whites, the mom, Mr. White and Mrs. White, they've been compensated because of their son's death, because he was hurt on the job and passed away. So again, a compensation is an amount of money, okay, that is given as a to make up for someone's loss. And we saw in the story when the representative from Juan Megan's showed up at the White's residence, okay, and he was very hesitant, we said, again, because he knew he was going to bear some bad news, obviously. So he came to tell them about their son's death. Okay, so this is when we saw the term compensation. All right. So any questions about compensation? Again, it's money, amount of money given as a way of making up for someone's loss or so on. All right. After this, we have the term credulity. Okay, credulity is basically another noun. It's not an adjective, but when someone is in a position or in a disposition to believe too readily. And there's another word that you might be more familiar with, which is gullible or gullibility, because it's a noun. And when you describe someone as gullible, it's someone who is ready to believe something very fast. Like if I tell someone it's raining cats and dogs, and they say, "Oh my God, really?" and they believe that it's raining cats and dogs. Of course, this is something unbelievable or impossible to happen, yet they are willing or they're ready to believe it as true. All right, so this is an adjective. This is a noun. Again, it's describing a situation or someone in a position of uh, being being ready to accept something as true very quickly without even questioning it or without asking themselves if this is true or not, or is this if it's logical or not. All right, any questions about credulity? All right, so again, credulity is to be in the disposition of being too believing too fast, even if something doesn't really make too much sense, you're willing to believe it. Hence my picture of I believe you. Okay. All right. Fate. We've discussed this. We said that fate is actually one of the reasons why the the fakir has placed the spell on the magic paw, on the monkey's paw rather, to show that fate controls the world, and if anyone tries to alter or play with fate, that they do so to their misfortune. All right, they suffer some negative consequences. And here what it means, what is meant by fate is, fate is basically this belief that people have that things are determined for us. Okay, the course of events in our lives are predetermined. We just live through them, and it's basically something like destiny. All right, it's your destiny to become the person you are. It's your destiny to have the children that you have. It's your destiny. It's fate that you work the job that you're working. So everything is basically predetermined, and your life is written out, and we're just going through it. By It's written out by a certain power, and of course that certain power we believe that it's God. Okay, so this is fate. All right, fate is the idea of that your life is predetermined, and it's everything is just planned out for us. Okay, by a power which is God. Okay, alrighty. Next one. Um, Take hamster. Okay, the next one is grimace, and we've discussed this one before. Grimace is a noun. It's not an adjective because it's referring to the facial expression of either pain or disgust. Okay, so again, grimace is when a person, shows this facial expression. Could be as a result of, something that you okay, something that you ate that you might dislike, okay, something that you don't like the taste of, or something that you find unpleasant, or maybe even a something that you saw that you think is disgusting. Okay, so again, all these fall under the definition of grimace. Okay, this describes the idea of grimace, a facial expression showing pain or disgust. Okay, the next word that we have on our list is peril. All right, peril means danger. All right, it's not dangerous because it's not an adjective. We're talking about the danger itself. Okay, danger itself is peril. All right, we said that the White family are in peril. They're in danger because the monkey's paw is going to bring upon them a lot of negative consequences that they're going to suffer. Okay, so again, peril means danger, not dangerous, because it's a noun, not a adjective. All right. So peril means danger. Okay. So resignation. Resignation is it's acceptance. Okay. With resignation, remember it's a noun, so I'm going to use it as either a subject or an object of preposition or so on. All right. And resignation means basically the idea of acceptance, something that is inescapable, all right, or inevitable, I would say. And what would inevitable mean? It means something that we cannot really run away from, because it is bound to happen. All right. What do I mean by that? It means that it's going to happen no matter what. All right. Like with resignation, the patient accepted the idea of his death because again, he knows or she knows that, suffering this disease, there's no cure for it, and something that that person cannot escape. All right, the idea of death itself is inevitable, so we have to accept it. That means with resignation, we took the idea of, or we accepted the idea of death, because again, it's something that we have to accept and believe that it's going to happen, and just accept it because we cannot escape it. Okay, this is resignation. So it's accepting something that we know that we cannot escape. All right, this is resignation. All right, prosaic. Prosaic is an adjective, and it's describing something that is ordinary. Ordinary to the point sometime of being boring or uninteresting. Okay, like for example, if you are doing a campaign, or you want to do a commercial or a billboard to grab someone's attention, would you want your billboard to be prosaic? The answer would be no. Of course, because again, prosaic means boring, something that is very ordinary to the point of lacking excitement. Okay, it's not exciting at all. It's not interesting. It turns out to be kind of boring. All right. So again, we do not want to wear a prosaic dress to the prom. Okay, we want something, of course, a little bit fancy or maybe a little bit more exciting. We don't want to create a prosaic billboard for an advertisement because we want it to be catchy. Okay, so prosaic is ordinary, but not just ordinary, but to the point of being lacking excitement, or something that is, it becomes a little bit boring. Okay, a little bit boring. Alrighty. Okay, amiably. Amiably is another adverb. Okay, because again we see the ly at the end, which is a adverb to describe something being done in a friendly way. All right. From the picture here, we can see that maybe he's a new employee or a friend, and he's being greeted with a smile, a handshake. Everyone is smiling around him. So again, amiably means to do something in a friendly manner. Like for example, the newcomer. When we have a newcomer in the classroom, we amiably, okay, we greet them in an amiably. All right. So remember, amiably is an adverb. So whenever it's used, it's going to be used as a way to describe a verb or how something is being done. All right. So let's keep that in mind. After we discuss this, we have the word avaricious. All right, avaricious was a word used by Herbert when he was playing around with his father, because we saw that Herbert was a very, he had a very high sense of humor. He was a jokester with his dad, and he made all these uh, um, funny remarks about his father being an avaricious man after he gets the 200 pounds that he has asked for. And avaricious here means to be greedy. Okay, so an avaricious man is a greedy man. All right, so avaricious is an adjective describing someone who is greedy. Okay, and again, greedy means that you want everything for yourself, the love of money. All right, not only just money, but materialistic things, or wanting to keep things for yourself. Okay, this is what greedy is. All right, frivolous. This is the last word, and it means to be inappropriately silly. All right, frivolous means to be inappropriately silly. Like for example, what do I mean by inappropriately silly? Maybe being silly during a session. All right, this is someone who's being frivolous because again, you're being silly at the wrong time. All right, or during a serious situation that, or you're in a situation that requires you to be serious and you're acting silly. So this is someone that we can describe as frivolous. All right, so this is your adjective to describe that. Okay, so these are our 10 words. Any questions about them? Let's go back to the sheet. And again, I gave you the word, I gave you the definition. What I require you guys to do for homework is to create a sentence for each one. Okay, so please finish that homework and submit it to me by tomorrow with sentences. All right, I need this worksheet to be completed. I've provided you the definition in the book. Also, it's in the PowerPoint. You should have filled it out with me as we went along. You can also add the part of speech next to it here. I didn't put a place for it, but like we could put compensation is a noun. All right, definition is a payment handed it to someone as a form of making up for a person's loss or a form of payment. Okay, a sentence could be you can say, for example, the customer was given a compensation after the product has caused him harm. So imagine someone goes and buys something like makeup or something, and this makeup causes your face to damage. Okay, the company here is responsible to give you a compensation for causing you damage or harm. Okay, so the company or the producer of this makeup is going to give you a payment. All right, and this payment is going to be as a makeup for the damage or any suffering that you may have caused. All right. Again, credulity. I'm going to go over that one more time. Again, credulity is a person in a position to believe something too quickly, too fast, too readily. All right, without questioning it, without asking themselves whether it's true or not. Okay, so remember, we shouldn't believe everything that we hear. We have to make sure that it's correct before we believe it. All right, someone, okay, the baby's credulity led him to believe that, that this is candy when it wasn't. Okay, so again, we know babies are known for their credulity because they can, they believe us very fast. All right. Again, fate is another noun, and it means basically destiny. All right, another word for it is destiny. Another word for credulity, by the way, is gullibility. I put it there for a reason. Okay, just in case you see it as a synonym on the quiz, you would know that credulity is equivalent to gullibility. All right, both of them mean that you are, or even naivety. All right, so we can see credulity, we can see gullibility, and we can see naivety. All right, naivety again, it's the same concept. Again, when someone is too naive, or again, you're willing to believe something without too fast, without questioning it. Faith, again, believing in a power that controls the events of your life, things that are predetermined. All right, a grimace is a noun again. It's a facial expression of pain or disgust. As we saw, it could be from a bad taste. It could be a scene in a movie that was gruesome or bloody that made you grimace. Okay, it could be a car accident that had, some terrifying images that made you grimace. It could be something that you ate that made you grimace that you don't like. So it's something negative. It has a negative connotation of something that is unpleasant overall. All right, peril means again, it's another noun. All right, and it's danger, not dangerous, but danger. Okay, the hikers faced peril as it snowed, or the mountains were icy. Again, they were in danger. Okay, resignation is the idea of accepting something that you cannot escape from. All right, like death, something that is inevitable. All right, prosaic. All right, prosaic, again, it's an adjective. All right, this is when we start, again, an adjective describing something that is ordinary. Not just ordinary, but it's so ordinary that it's starting to become very boring or lacking interest. Okay? Amiably is an adverb. Again, the ly helps us understand that it's an adverb, and it means to be very friendly, to do something in a very friendly manner. Okay, I amiably greeted my guests. That means I was very friendly to them. All right. Avaricious is an adjective again. Like we said, Herbert was playing with his father, saying that 200 pounds are going to make him an avaricious man. That means greedy. Okay. And frivolous again is another adjective, and it means to be inappropriately silly. That means you're being silly at the wrong time or in the wrong place. Okay, inappropriately silly. Okay, and these are my words. Any questions regarding what you guys have to do? So I gave you the definition. I gave you the part of speech. Your job is to create sentences to test your grounds, and I'm going to also post a vocab worksheet for you guys with some sentences that you guys have to fill in the blank with. Inshallah, I'm going to post it today so that you guys can have it and work on it as extra practice for before the quiz. And I need you, we're going to go over it together in one of our sessions before the quiz, inshallah, to ensure that you guys have it, inshallah, done correctly. Any questions regarding the vocab? You need to raise your hand now and ask me. Okay, all right. So if not, I'm going to minimize the vocab. It's on your SMS again. So we're gonna move on to the study guide, which is right here. Again, it's on your SMS. It's been posted um, since sometime in December, but we never really had a chance to go over the study guide. So this is your study guide. It should be open. You should have your notebook ready to take notes as we answer them. All right. So we first of all we need to just revise very quickly that we mentioned that we need to discuss what mood is. All right, and we need to understand that mood is basically the atmosphere that the author creates for the reader. Okay, it's not the tone. Remember, I told you in class before that tone is different than mood. Mood is related to um, how the reader feels. It's the environment or the atmosphere that the author wants to place you in. All right, place who? Place the reader in. Okay, and we said that mood is affected by a couple of things. All right, and how can we determine mood in the story? First of all, we said to look at the setting. All right, like Monkey's Paw. When we saw the setting, the story first started off at night in the Lebanon villa, which we learned to be isolated. Okay, how can we tell that it was isolated from the description? All right, from the conversation, the dialogue between the characters in the story, Mr. White and Herbert, and they were saying they were first of all were complaining about the weather. So here, when we discuss the setting, all right, before we discuss anything, we discuss the setting of this. I mean, the word mood. All right, and before anything, we need to understand that the mood, all right, is the atmosphere that the author creates for the reader. All right, so it's how the author wants you to feel. And again, how is mood established? You guys will be able to, of course, you need to understand that and be ready to answer that on the quiz because first of all, we said the setting helps us. All right, and we didn't even also and when we discussed the setting, we discussed place. All right, and we discussed the timing. All right, the time it was night, and we also discussed the weather. All right, we said to look at the weather, and we said that it was rainy, it was windy, it was dark at night. They were living in the Lebanon villa, and from the conversation between the characters, which is actually one of the things that help us determine the mood. All right, we can tell here from the conversation between the characters. Okay, this is another way to establish mood. All right, we can tell that the characters were not feeling very comfortable with the way with the place that they're living in. All right, we can tell that the whites were not happy with living in such an isolated area. They've complained about the weather. They've complained about the rain. That the roads are a torrent, and we said a torrent is a flood of water. Okay, so we can tell again that the mood here they're not really comfortable. All right, and we discussed the mood inside the house was different than the mood inside the house was different than the mood outside, and that was established by the light, the fire, the warmth between the family, what the family members are doing together. Okay, even the word choice that was used by the author. Okay, so remember that the setting plays an issue, plays a role in the mood, the conversation between characters. All right, and also we mentioned the third one, which is the usage of imagery. All right, and remember, imagery is words related to the five senses. All right, and we've seen these a lot in the story when we discuss the knocking on the door or the gates of the Lebanon villa closing and opening, and so on. All right. So, what type of mood is established in the beginning of the story, and what helps you determine the sense of the sense of or the feeling of this mood? Judy, please, can you please tell me how would you describe the mood of the story? What are some adjectives that we can use?
Gloomy or dull.
Good, right? Any other
Dull.
words? Good. We can say that it's dull and gloomy, and a little bit also on the eerie side, I would say. All right,
Mm.
good. Thanks, Judy. Judy, can you please tell us how would you back up your evidence on with these words? What helped you establish that this mood in the story?
Because of the weather, yeah. The,
Okay, so one of your reasons is the weather. Oh no, we know that it started off on a rainy, it was a rainy, windy night. All right. What else helps us understand this or establish this?
Miss, can I say one?
Yes, of course. Go ahead, Kinsey.
They are cracking of the fire that coming from the fireplace
All right, good.
inside the house.
All right, so here we've discussed here. We have two moods. The mood here that Judy started off with was kind of like the outside. All right, the outside overall is mood gloomy and dull and eerie due to the weather, and also due to the setting of the actual villa. All right, the villa we know was located on an isolated. Okay, okay, in an isolated area. And how could we learn that it was an isolated area? Because, this is British. Remember, the setting here is England or London. So the British English, they've mentioned here that only two apartments are let or rented. Okay, so they're in an area that's not really occupied by many people. Okay, and they're kind of also away from uh, uh, um, I would say the busy places. Okay, because they said they suspected that their guest was not going to make it due to the weather. Okay, or he was not going to be able to reach them due to this horrible weather and due to them living so far out. Okay, so only two houses are are rented, so it gives us a sense of isolation and a little bit of scary. All right. Then we discussed, all right, that also we can add here that it's mysterious. Okay, I would add mysterious because again, from the conversation between the characters, from the conversation between the characters, what did we learn? We learned that they are expecting a guest. However, we do not know who this guest is. So it adds on to the mystery of the readers. Okay, we don't know who we are expecting. Okay, so again, you could say gloomy, dull, eerie, mysterious. All right. How could you back up your adjectives? Because remember, we said always back up your adjectives or your mood with evidence. And your evidence is going to be used from one of these three. Okay, either the imagery drove you to this mood, either the conversation between the characters drove you to this mood, either the setting drove you to this mood. All right, so from the conversation between the characters, the family, the whites, discuss a guest. Okay, discuss and the arrival on these. Alright, so they're expecting the arrival of a guest, and to us, to the reader, that makes us acquisitive of mystery. Okay, we don't know, do not know who is this guest coming. All right, Hannah. Inside the house, Hannah, how would you describe it? Hannah, you have your hand raised.
Inside, I would describe them with Miss. I just had I just had something to
Sure.
the outside. It could be like no okay inside okay. I was like, expecting something else. Okay, so
No, baby, go ahead. Tell me your question
inside.
first. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question. You said you had a question.
No, I was expecting to be, for example, scary because there is not much houses and because it was it was stormy.
That's right. So you're discussing the mood outside, right? That's correct. All right. Can you give us some words that describe the mood inside the house?
Yeah.
Inside the Lebanon villa?
Inside, it was, for example, they were okay.
Was it
No,
gloomy and dull and eerie? And
no,
Miss, can I say one?